Welcome to the Webby and O'Neill channel, all about the under-23s and the youth teams. I'm Peter, the Webby and O'Neill expert. Peter, the under-23s, how have they been getting on this season?
Much better now than when we started. We had a poor start, first 4 games, I think it was lose 2, draw 2, and since then it's been 4 on the bounce. And this weekend we played our arch rivals, Liverpool, and gave them an absolute spanking. And when you read the report and it says 3-0 against 10 men Liverpool, and I looked and I thought, he got sent off in the last minute when we were 3-0 up, so it wasn't against 10 man Liverpool, it was 3-0, we beat them.
You just mentioned there at the start of the season, 4 losses. Is there a reason for the 4 losses? Were players
2 losses, 2 draws.
Oh, 2 losses, 2 draws.
No, just getting themselves together, I think. It's it depends on who you're playing as well, but they've just hit this patch now. We've played the last 4 have been 1 in this Papa John's Trophy and 3 in the Premier League 2, and they're doing well. They're scoring goals. They're not letting in very many, and they're winning. So once you get in this winning habit, it's all systems go.
Striker, who scored in the goals for them, Peter?
Well, Elanga's scored again, made 1 again. He's my tip for the future. We've also got 2 very young players that I think they're both 17, and so they're not, when we're saying they're playing for the under-23s, they might be 18 now. There's Hugill and there's McNeil, and they both know where the back of the net is. They just need more games, more experience, and then let's see where they go from there.
I automatically, and people out there, let me know what you think, we automatically assume the players are like 21, 22, 23. Is that not the case with this Manchester United under-23 side?
Certainly not. Most of the under-23s, except for 1, could have played in last year's youth team. They're all youth. I think United have a policy that, if you've not made it at 20, 21, you're not going to make it. You've got to be there. So they're putting them all years above what they should be. That's why sometimes when they're playing, this Papa John's Trophy is an under-21s trophy, but we're playing against 3rd division teams, or League 1 as it's called these days, and they're playing their first team, or basically their first team. So it's like men against boys. But the last game we played
17-year-old boys,
yeah,
18,
yeah, and they're playing against Bradford City's first team.
Oh, got you.
And that's the way it's the competition's run, and then the winners of all the groups gets to knock out, and then it goes to Wembley. And none of the under-21 teams have ever got to the final yet. But in the earlier rounds, we played Bradford in the last game, and we won 3-0, and it was very one-sided. And I thought, this is our kids, our 17 to 19-year-old kids playing against their best part of their first team. It might be like their League Cup type first team that they do a few changes, but we were well on top all game.
When we last spoke, Peter, talking about Solskjaer, how he's got lots of young players, what he's brought through, lots of young players, what have gone out on loan now. I'm not sure of the figure. I'm sure you'll tell us in a minute. But these players there now, I thought would have got in, at least on the bench and in the squad for the first team. Who is it, in your opinion, you feel?
Right, there's 2 players that Elanga, which I'll keep going on about.
Go on about him, Peter,
Elanga,
because I like
to
Elanga.
me, I thought he could have been in the last match day squad, but if you look at the last match day squad here, our bench was one of the best 5-a-sides you could see on paper, so he's not going to get in on there. But I would have put him because he's different, he's fast, he knows where the goal is, and I like him a lot. Now, he played on the same day on the Liverpool game, and he absolutely tore them apart. He scored 1 direct from a free kick. I'm not sure that he meant it. He put it in, and everybody left it, and it went in the goal. He made 1, and he had an 8 out of 10 performance.
Elanga is the outstanding player.
Is the outstanding player. We've also got a Fernandez, not Bruno. It's a Spanish one, and he's with a Z at the end, but he plays at left back. He played.
I've seen him, Peter.
He's
a big lad.
Yeah, he is. He's very tall, and he likes to play a lot he's good, he's fast, but he plays a lot forward, so he's often in as a winger, but he's playing fullback. Now, the last game we saw him in this Papa John's Trophy, he played right back first half, right in front of all United fans. And then at half-time, there was a substitution, whether it was an injury or not, so he was pushed back to left back. So he was, again, playing right in front of us, and he was getting, all the fans were getting behind him, and he had a really good game. And I know he's made a few elementary mistakes, but he scores. And sometimes when he's got the ball, he's good at dribbling through 3 or 4 players and then having a shot. And I don't
sounds
know.
Sounds like he's a full-back going forward.
He is.
With the intention of going down that wing.
He'd make a great wing back. Yeah.
Putting crosses in and got the ability to score goals.
He certainly has. He can do that.
And you think Elanga and Fernandes,
yeah,
they're the 2 outstanding what could get through. I thought I would have seen players like that get the chance in the cup game against West Ham, Peter. Are you disappointed you didn't see players like that given the chance?
Yes.
Even more so now that we got knocked out?
Yes, definitely. But we're very top-heavy with internationals that aren't getting in the first team. Let's just pull out of the hat. Mata, as a for instance, is not making the first team. So he's making the team like we played against West Ham, which is now bed blocking the thing for the youngsters to come through. I'd like to see 3 or 4 youngsters as well as 6 or 7, whatever the figure is, of the reserve first teamers. But the first team squad now is so big that they had to play all that. I mean, we made 11 changes, and I think every player that was changed was a full international. So they've got to do something. I mean, some of the players from the first team squad are either going to go for a figure or just get off the wage bill. And
we spoke a few months ago, Peter, and I and you yourself was talking about these under-23s, the other team players coming through, and I was excited because I thought we was going to get the chance. And like you say, it looks like Ole's squad, the amount of elder statesmen, shall we say, are bed blocking these youngsters coming through and like their progress. I would have already expected Elanga to come through. But we've got how many players has he put out, Peter, on loan? 15,
I think, at the last count. It would have been 16 because the young Ivory Coast, Ahmad.
That's a lot of youngsters.
It is.
It's a lot of youngsters.
And there's 2 in the Premier League because there's Williams at Norwich and there's 2 in Zabi at Villa. And then you move down to the Championship, and there's definitely at least 2 there because we've got Chongi at Birmingham and Garner. Both of those I thought might make it, but they've got to, be standout at Birmingham and Forest this season if they want to come back to United. Because
they're not going to get the chance now, are they, Peter?
No, they're not.
Right?
No.
Something which you and I was expecting, and a lot of yous out there, let us know what you was expecting these players to come in, under 23s. It's the future. We was looking forward to this this year with them being added to squad. We didn't expect loads of games, but the West Ham game, by getting knocked out, Peter, is that a downward thing for these under 23s?
It is. I think that is where the other club across the city there, they've won the League Cup for the last 4 years because they've got like a 30-man first team squad, and like in the League Cup, they can make 11 changes, and they're still all decent, sometimes £50 million players in their second team. So that's where and I would rather...
Liverpool do the same though, don't they, Peter?
Yeah. City have just had, got a much bigger squad that they've bought. I mean, when I read the alleged thing that he sold lots of academy players, which is paid for Grealish, and I've watched City's academy when they play United, and I've seen their team sheets, and I don't know where this 100 million comes from that Guardiola says they've sold them. So I don't personally believe that they've sold all these academy players to pay for the first team. But if United ever did that, I'd be absolutely gutted. I mean, we've had since 1938.
But Peter, they can't. The way you're describing the bed blocking of these youngsters to come through, which are the lifeblood of any team, they're not going to get through, Peter.
They're not. No.
They're not going to get through.
If they're good enough, they will. But they've got to have the chance. And
well, it's the chance, and I'm saying...
It's the chance, and they're not going to get the chance until 4 games from the end of the season when it doesn't matter. They've got to be pushed in earlier. And I don't know how, because, I mean, like, say, wingers. I mean, at the moment, we've got Greenwood and Rashford when fit, and Sancho, and... we've got all these players. We've certainly got enough players that you think, Elanga, is he going to get in? And if he does get in, you know, you're going to think, we've just signed somebody for 75 million and we've just signed somebody else, you know, and it's very difficult. I mean, it must be very difficult, you know, whereas we've got all these wingers and we're looking, I wish we'd get a...
So should we not expect any of these under-23s, and especially those out on loan, to break through this year?
No.
Do you think the policy, what's been set down with the under-23s and the players out on loan, is looking forward to next year?
That's the only way you can do it these days. I mean, years ago, when we sent Beckham out on loan, he went out to Preston for 6 or 8 games. I think now you've got to fit in with the transfer window. I mean, if we could have sent Garner out for 10 games and that and see how good he is, and if he's good, get him back and get him in the squad. I would prefer that.
One of the players, before we finish up, Peter, I'd like to talk about is Hannibal. You mentioned me last time. We had a good chat about him. He's a fighter and he gets fouled a lot. Where's he in the pecking order, Peter? How do you see him? Because I've watched him and I really, really like him.
Well, we saw him and this season he's moved up that notch and he's been much better. The last time we saw him play, he got sent off again he gets fouled, it doesn't get given, and he sort of retaliates and gets another booking, and that he's got more bookings for retaliation or mouthing it than he has for fouling people. And the next game, we didn't know, I don't know where the suspensions fall, but the next game he missed and nobody said anything about it. We presumed he was banned. And then a couple more games, he didn't turn up, and we thought, it's only a 1-match ban. And then we went to watch Everton under-23s away, and it was at Southport. And again, he's not in the squad. And at half-time, we got 5 subs on the pitch, and there were 6 of them there. And one of them, with his hoodie up, was Hannibal, doing keepy up. He's passing the ball, and I thought, what's he doing out there? So as the subs came back, I went down to the front and said to somebody, what's Hannibal doing? I says, is he fit? He says, no, he's still injured. So I don't know where he is.
Have you not seen him play?
Not seen him play for a month, right? And he's out on the pitch doing keeping
Not
up.
banned?
And he's not banned, right? He's obviously suspension, so he's out injured. But you never seem to... I've not read why he's injured. I mean, we read these things. United haven't announced that he's out for 3 weeks, 6 weeks, 6 months, but we're not seeing him for a good month.
Well, on that note, Peter, all I can say to you before we finish up, keep an eye out. When you come back, we want a full update, if you can, please, on Hannibal, the mysterious where are you?
Where are you?
Okay.
Yeah.
You find him,
Will
Peter.
do.
I've had a good chat with Peter. I hope you've enjoyed it. Anything on the under-23s, this man will know, and the youth team. So, smash the likes, get some comments in, and press that notification. Peter, keep up to date.
Will do.
Keep speaking to us.
Will do.
And, my God, you've got some work cut out following all these teams, Peter. I don't know how you do it, to be honest with you. All right. Thank you very much for watching. Cheers. Peter, pleasure.
Thank you.